special press conference of the Association for Promoting Philippines-China Understanding, or APPCU. This is the pioneer NGO in the Philippines which started and promoted bilateral relations and understanding in 1974, even 1 year before diplomatic relations were resumed between the Philippines and China. So today, the officers of APPCU and also the diplomats of the China Embassy would like to announce a very auspicious event, which is the launching of the 2022 APPCU Awards. This is the award for promoting Philippines-China understanding, which will start now all the way up to March 18. The details will be discussed later by the different officers. This is a very good and very unique award, not only for people in Metro Manila, not only for people in NGOs, but in all fields. Let us watch a short, before we start everything, I'd like to invite the chairman of APPCU committee of the Mr. Sixto Benedicto to give his welcome remarks. Mr. Sixto Benedicto is first vice chairman of the Association for Philippines-China Understanding, or APPCU. Of course, he is chairman of this 2022 APPCU committee for these awards. He is also president of Benedicto Steel Corporation, plus many other affiliations. He's a graduate of University of the Philippines, Diliman, with a degree in philosophy. Let us invite Mr. Sixto Benedicto for his short welcome remarks.
Thank you, Wilson. I would like to welcome our friends from the media and media partners, members, friends, and colleagues of APPCU, the Association for Philippine-China Understanding for short, and the Chinese Embassy in Manila for our search for awards for promoting Philippine-China Understanding awardees, or APPCU for short. This worthwhile project was launched last year by APPCU together with the Chinese Embassy to promote better relation between two people, the Filipinos and Chinese. We are looking for Filipino citizens that are exerting special efforts in promoting better understanding between two cultures. We look forward to your nominations. For more information, please visit our website, www.appcu.org.ph/APPCU. Thank you and mabuhay. Back to you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Sixto Benedicto. Next, we'd like to show a short video introducing this award and the association. APPCU and APPCU video now.
Over the years, far from the knowledge of many, APPCU has silently worked on behalf of the two countries through the efforts and contributions of individuals and organizations from the ground and the upper echelons of Philippine society in espousing a mutual understanding between the Philippines and China. Truly, in fulfilling the mission of APPCU, it is my honor to present to you one of the initiatives of the association, together with the Chinese Embassy, this novel and newly launched award-giving body, the Award for Promoting Philippines-China Understanding, APPCU.
APPCU will build a more vibrant and dynamic bridge of understanding and friendship between China and the Philippines in the new era.
APPCU is an annual undertaking, and each year there will be 10 laureates or awardees. Those who are eligible for awards are Filipino citizens who have committed themselves to the improvement and advancement of Philippines-China bilateral relations using their fields of disciplines and area of expertise, such as public service, media journalism, trade and commerce, and arts and culture and sciences.
I see this initiative as rather opportune in recognizing the industry and contributions made both by renowned and ordinary Filipinos in reinforcing relations between the two countries. I look forward to more productive years ahead of the award for promoting Philippines-China understanding. Thank you.
Division Director in the Department of Asian Affairs, in charge of multilateral security cooperation in Asia and the Pacific. I'm not going to enumerate all the others because he has a very distinguished background. Very uniquely also, this diplomat also graduated with a BA degree of in English Literature and Public Health Management program from Dalian University of Foreign Languages and Dalian University of Medical Sciences. Let us invite Councilor Yong Hui Xie for his message. Welcome.
Thank you, Wilson, for the warm introductory and uh, good afternoon, everyone, especially friends from the media. And I also take notice that there were several awardees of the last year's APPCU award are participating. Welcome you all. And as you all know, that APPCU APPCU Award is a newly established award launched last January, 2021. It was jointly initiated by the Chinese Embassy and our partner APPCU APPCU, and it was also first announced by Chinese State Councilor and Foreign Minister Wang Yi and former Philippine President ROU in January last year during Foreign Minister Wang Yi's official visit to the Philippines in Manila. APPCU Award is designed to pay tribute to those who have made their contributions to promoting mutual understanding and friendship between our two countries, and also encourage more people to follow their suit to enhance mutual trust, scale down differences, boost affinity, and promote collaboration. APPCU Award is, on the one hand, is aimed at to inherit and carry on the fun tradition of friendly exchanges over the past millennium between China and the Philippines. On the other hand, it is also designed to meet the reality of our bilateral relations. As we all know that during the past few years, under the strategic guidance of President Xi Jinping and President Duterte, the bilateral relations has entered a new golden era and established a comprehensive strategic cooperative relationship, which has brought tangible benefits to the people of both countries and also inject positive energy into the peace and stability of our region. As the interests of our two countries are closely intertwined and people-to-people interactions are increasingly intensive, it is the right time to launch this award, which answers the people's aspirations and meets the need to jointly construct a closer China-Philippine partnership in the new era. As the Chinese saying goes, friendship, which derives from close contact between the people, holds the key to sound state-to-state relations. To that end, I think we should raise awareness and reduce misunderstanding towards each other. And of course, our two countries have great potential for cooperation in the field of people-to-people and socio-cultural exchanges. And there are still much for the two peoples to learn from each other. To some extent, certain misunderstandings and differences are a hindrance to, to promoting our friendship, further promoting our friendship. And so it is high time for us to join hands to overcome them. And APPCU awards, which I believe will serve as a bridge to promoting mutual understanding and friendship between our two countries and peoples. Last year, after a wide range of nomination and 3 rounds of selection, we successfully selected 10 awardees for the first APPCU Awards. The 10 awardees, in their various fields and capacities, have been contributing over years to, for some, it could be more than half a century, some, to our multi-faceted relations as bridges of understanding, even amidst some difficulties and some differences. And also, they are promoters of cooperation between the Filipinos and Chinese. If you look at the name list, there are well-known established figures like Madam Imelda Marcos, who actually helped open the doors for diplomatic relations between the People's Republic of China and the Philippines during the high time of Cold War era. We also have ordinary people, just like you and me. For instance, this 5-1 Talk English teacher, John Nico Fernandez, who is dubbed as Crazy Teacher John, Actually, he is among one of the 35,000 online Filipino teachers working for a Chinese enterprise, Chinese teaching online teaching for English teaching form 51 Talk. He's among one of the teachers, and of course, he's a very good example and best of those teachers. Why he's called Crazy Teacher Joy? Because he's so popular among the Chinese kids who are learning English from their Filipino online teachers through this 51 Talk platform. He's so popular, and his class, he's funny, and his classes is very attractive to the young kids of the Chinese student, the kids, and he make friends with the kids and also with their parents. He he visited several times to China. He also invited his students to visit the Philippines, and thus building friendship between different families between the families of Philippines and China. Wow, this year we are going to host the second APPCU Award, and now the nomination has been open. We welcome all people from all walks of life of the Philippines to nominate your choice of awardees. And looking into the future, I firmly believe that the APPCU Awards will build a new bridge for mutual understanding and friendship between our two countries and the two peoples in a new era. And I also firmly believe that our relationship, our friendship will gain more and more popularity and support from people of all walks of life. That's it. Thank you. Mabuhay and salamat.
Thank you very much, Councillor Xie, for your message, reminding us how important this APPCU award is and how interesting it is for both the Philippines and China. Very good reminders and very good anecdotes and inspiring stories. Before we call the next speaker, I'd like to acknowledge one of our awardees last year. He's here, Dr. and Attorney Leomel Aportadera of Iloilo City of University of San Agustin. Thank you for joining. Also the other winners. Next, we'd like to invite a civic leader and NGO stalwart from Davao City, Southern Philippines, to discuss what are the eligibility details, mechanics, selection process behind APPCU, who can or cannot be nominated. Mr. Peter Labinia is spokesperson of this award. He is currently president of the Asian Center for Comparative Governance based in Bangkok, a consultant for the Philippine Councilors League Legislative Academy, because he used to be elected Davao City Councilor. He is also senior partner at Wilson Consulting Group. He is chairman of the Philippines China Mutual Cooperation Society and a trustee of APPCU, and Deputy Secretary General. I won't mention all the other credentials because it's quite impressive and long. But I'd like to mention that he used to be former Deputy Cabinet Secretary as the Administrator of the National Irrigation Administration under President Rodrigo Duterte. Let us welcome Mr. Peter Labinia of Davao City to tell us who and how to be nominated and who can win, how they will choose the prestigious winners of APPCU. Mr. Peter Labinia.
Thank you, Wilson. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to our partners in the mass media and social media present in our virtual launching of these awards. Thank you to our awardees last year present in this conference, as well as my fellow officers in APPCU and the awards for promoting Philippine-China understanding. Wilson, as we know, Beijing is now hosting the Olympic Games This is the Winter Olympic Games, and the Philippines is represented in that games. This is already the 24th edition. Well, comparing with our APPCU awards, we are only on our second year. But Wilson, I am confident that these awards will become the Olympics of friendship awards in the country and probably in our region. Who are eligible to receive our gold, silver, and bronze medals in these Olympic Games? Well, Wilson, this award is open to all Filipinos who have contributed significantly, in a way, in promoting understanding between Philippines and China, as well as active in promoting friendship and cooperation. As we have seen in our previous awards last year, we have outstanding individuals who were given 3 categories. Meron tayong Hall of Famers, meron tayong people with outstanding contributions, and those with major or significant contributions. We are also doing the same this year. We are looking forward to give these awards, parang gold, silver, and gold, silver, and bronze. And then in various categories, in promoting all this understanding, friendship, and cooperation. They may come from the public service, in the business community, in our academe, in our arts and sciences, and culture. Especially now, the advances in ICT, and I know there are many Filipinos involved in this. Councilor Roche already mentioned one of our awardees last year. He's one of the active in online teaching. So, but there are also people who are ineligible to receive the awards. There are only 2 public officials who are now active in their official function in promoting Philippine-China friendship, and understanding and cooperation. For example, our ambassador, he has contributed a lot, but we are sorry that we cannot give him this award because he's still an active public official. Also, members of APPCU, the Association for Philippine-China Understanding. Why? Because we are part of the judging process. So we will not be eligible for this award. This is also the guidance of our Chair Emeritus, former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, that we should open these awards to many Filipinos who have contributed in promoting understanding and friendship, especially ordinary Filipinos in the provinces. We have not explored contributions by many Filipinos in the provinces. We are happy last year we have one from Iloilo. We will undergo a three stages of judging. The first stage will be to make sure that all the nominees are eligible, and they have achieved a certain level of contribution. The second stage will be to determine what are the 3 categories they will be eligible to receive the awards. And the final judging will be from among our top leaders from the APPCU as well as the Chinese Embassy to determine the final awardees for 2022. We have already opened our nomination since the January 27. This is just the formal launching, but we will close the nomination on March 18. So fairly, we have a long time to prepare our known friends who we can nominate for these awards. And by May 22, the whole of April and May, early May, we will cover the judging process, and hopefully by May 2022, May 22, we will already know the winners, and probably we will already formally announce. But the awarding itself will be held during the Philippine-China Friendship Week to commemorate the anniversary of the formal establishment of diplomatic relations between China and the Philippines. That will be around the June 9 anniversary. So during that week, we will just decide later what the exact date, conferring with both the leadership of APPCU as well as the Chinese embassy. So our friends in the media, we'd like to solicit your help to spread this word that we are in search already for our awardees. And in the next 5 months, we will continue to share with you and confer with you as we go along in the process of receiving the nomination, during our judging process, and the final preparations for the awards sometime in June. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Wilson.
Thank you once again to Mr. Peter Lavinia from Davao City, one of the officers of APPCU. Before we go into the open forum, somebody texted, who are the officers behind APPCU aside from Mr. Benedicto and Mr. Lavinia? I think I could answer that. The Chairman Emeritus of APPCU, Association for the Promotion of Philippine-China Understanding, is Chairman Emeritus, former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, one of the pioneers of this association. The chairman is Secretary Raul Lambino, and the president is Mr. Jeffrey Nang, top businessman and also economics graduate of UP, cum laude. So we go to the question and answer now. So Mr. Lavinia and others could answer. There's a question here. What is the absolute deadline? What day and what time of the March 18? Is there a time?
It's 5 p.m. Close of office time, office hours. 5 p.m. on March 18 is the close of nomination.
Yes. Somebody texted.
Yeah, we can receive the nomination in the office or through online or through your friends in APPCU.
So how do they contact APPCU? They are asking here, what are your contact numbers? Do you have a website? Do you have a Facebook page for this association of APPCU, APPCU? What is the email address? People wanting to nominate.
Okay, Wilson, Anna can answer that. We'll also put it in the chat box. No?
Yes.
Please refer to the chat box as well, but for making an announcement. For more information on the nomination process, guidelines, and all information about APPCU or the Awards for Promoting Philippine-China Understanding, you can visit the website. No, it's www.appcu or appcu.org.ph/APPCU, or you can inquire through the APPCU Secretariat at appcu@apcu.org.ph via email. So that's much more the information. It's on the chat box already. Please check the chat box. Maraming salamat po.
Hi, thank you very much. That's Ana Malindog Uy, Vice Chairman of the APPCU Awards. There's a question here from, this is a question from a media friend. Can we ask the 2021 APPCU awardees, how do they feel about winning this award? How do they live up to the expectations of being awardees? Can we call Dr. Romel Banlawi or Dr. Portadera, who would begin? And then Mr. Laurel and Ado Paglinawan. Can we invite Dr. Romel Banlawi to answer? How does it feel to be an awardee? Is Dr. Romel Banlawi unmuted? Can we invite him to speak? Or
Yes,
Attorney Aportadera? Dr. and Attorney Leomel Aportadera.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr.
Ayan,
Banlawi.
Dr. Romel Banlawi is here.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity to share my experience as an awardee of first APPCU. It's a mixed experience. First is the gratefulness and appreciation for the acknowledgement of our difficult effort to promote Philippines-China understanding. And I have been doing that for almost 3 decades, But also at the same time, there are difficulties because of the domestic situation in the Philippines, because of some stereotyping reactions, condemning us as pro-China and advancing China's interest in the Philippines. And I consider that as another opportunity to really engage those people, to emphasize that receiving this award does not mean being pro-China. Receiving this award is in fact a responsibility to promote greater understanding. In fact, my role now is much more difficult because I received this award, so I have to double up my effort in promoting greater understanding. Not only before I was promoting understanding between Filipinos and Chinese. Now my greater effort is to promote understanding among Filipinos that receiving this award is not, in fact, pursuing a pro-China position. Pursuing this award is, in fact, promoting understanding not only among Filipinos and Chinese, but also between Philippine government and Chinese government, especially on difficult issues. And in the area of international relations, we need understanding in order to promote cooperation and avoid conflict, not only among governments, but more specifically among people. We need to address issues like anti-China sentiments in the Philippines and anti-Filipino sentiments in China. We need to address those concerns. What we need is better understanding by opening the minds not only of Filipinos but Chinese about the need for Philippines and China to really cooperate, especially in this challenging century. So right now, my responsibility now is greater because I have the award. So I need to double up my effort in promoting understanding not only between Filipinos and Chinese, but also understanding of Filipinos about China. So my greater effort now is engaging the Filipino public about the need to promote greater understanding between the two countries. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to the very respected intellectual and geopolitics analyst, Dr. Romel Banlawi, and also top educator. Next, we'd like to invite Mr. Herman Laurel, who is more known as Kamentong in media circles, TV host, radio host, and head of Philbrick Strategic Studies.
Well,
Mr. Kamentong Laurel.
I think our mission has not changed, and I think the award has added some prestige to the role of people who are trying to promote this understanding between China and Philippines. Although I have to note that China has been doing a great job in showing to the world its vision and its mission to unify mankind around prosperity and peace. And it helps us a lot. So it's the award is important to continue to promote and pursue because there are many others who are not yet recognized. And recognition brings attention to them from the audience that we want to reach out to. But I have noted that the anti-China sentiment is really growing very, very small. It is really subsiding already with the past 2 years of outstanding goodwill projects from China, especially even just this past January, where in the period of just 1 month, 1.8 billion pesos was donated by China to help our Odette devastated citizens in the south, in northern Luzon. So I think also the turning point in the relations or the perception among Filipinos about China has turned. This has been a turning point, 2020 and 2021. So the rest of the years ahead will be easier and smoother sailing for relations between the two countries. So this year's award will go a long way because I have a few names also that I want to include in the nominations, both Philippine presidents and other outstanding individuals in the country who have been doing a yeoman's job in combating the disinformation from hostile countries, and not only hostile to China, but hostile to Asia. Because many people forget that the targeting of China by some countries in the West is really the targeting of Asia. Well, I just wanted to highlight the great importance of this award by explaining the things that we have to explain to our people. And this award has helped tremendously in calling attention to this mission, which is very, very important. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Herman Laurel Kamentong, for your reaction and your words. Thank you for your efforts. Next, we'd like to invite another awardee from Iloilo City, Dr. and also Attorney Leomel Aportadera. He is with University of San Agustin in Iloilo City for his reaction in his message.
How do I feel as one of the awardees in 2021? I feel I am honored and I am challenged. I am honored because, as Sir Peter Lavinia mentioned, I am the only one I'm the only awardee outside of Metro Manila. I am also challenged because, as in the words of Professor Banluy, the stereotyping of the Chinese community in the Philippines has still a lot of way to overcome the misconceptions of the of people of Chinese descent. I am a son of a Chinese woman, mother, and a Filipino father. And I think I also consider this as an advantage in sharing my unique position. I feel I am blessed that my Christianity is imbued with Confucian values. The Filipino love for celebration is tempered with a Chinese sense of frugality. And in that way, I can be a best bridge in trying to tell the stories of China, its people, including those people, those Chinese who migrated to the Philippines and made the Philippines a second home and found not only success, but were welcomed and loved by their Filipino neighbors here. So I feel honored and challenged. Thank you.
Thank you very much to a lawyer, a medical doctor, and also educator, Dr. and Attorney Leomel Aportadera. Thank you very much. Next, we'd like to invite another awardee, Mr. Ado Paglinawan, a former diplomat, veteran journalist, and now commentator and geopolitics and politics analyst. Mr. Ado Paglinawan, for your message, your reaction as an awardee.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we could hear you.
Yeah, I have been writing aggressively in favor of China efforts to help the Philippine development since 2003, when the hybrid rice was introduced in the Philippines by Yuan Longpin through the cooperation of Agriculture Secretary Luisito Lorenzo and Henry Lim Bonlyong, now the president of the Federation of Filipino Chambers of Commerce and Industries, under the administration of then President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. That's why it's a little, I feel a little bit sentimental when I was nominated to this award, because it brought Henry, the former President Gloria, and myself into this kind of an exchange of goodwill. After that consultancy, I went back to the United States and pondered upon why I was wasting my time in the US and not go back to the Philippines to help my country. And so I made researches, deep researches, before I came back here. The travel brought me to Shandong province, where Sultan Paduka Batara is buried. That experience brought me back to the voyages of Shanghai, you know, and his 7 voyages to the old Silk Road maritime component. And I started writing about them even before I came back. But when I came back, I linked up with the Sultanate of Sulu, and the experience even became even more intense. I started my work as a journalist, primarily as an editor of a social news website, and working for Radio Filipinas. But my coverage every time would be challenged by something new coming from China. And even before President Duterte came to the office of the president, I kept on asking questions why the Filipinos were delaying participation in the Belt and Road Initiative, just as we are now faced with delaying our ratification of the RCEP. And I started questioning this, writing about this, questioning in my columns, in my analysis, until a better administration that is current came about. I continued writing about the cooperative efforts between 2 countries, areas where things have not yet been lodged, and where there were promises of great development, especially for more than 100 million Filipinos. And my writings were just writings, independent writings. And so that when APPCU came into the picture, it kind of validated that somebody out there was reading, somebody out there was minding what I was doing. And from afar, coming here until I became an awardee, and it kind of enhanced my presence not only in the Philippine press, but also in the regional press as well as international press, as I ended up writing a book about tracing the origins of COVID-19. And so all this now comes, I have never been interviewed so much by so many media organizations in China as now. And so there is really something that has enhanced my work as well as my emotions, that joins 2 countries together in mutual understanding, respect, and hopefully, as we look to a new administration, a better future between the Philippines and the People's Republic of China. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Addo Paglinawan. radio host, and also analyst of geopolitics and politics. Thank you very much for your message. There's a question here from one of our media friends here. Maybe Mr. Peter Labinia and Ms. Ana Malindog-Uy could answer. Do you have a poster in social media which we could share summarizing all the nomination details, the deadlines and everything? Do you have a poster that you could email down that they could send out to other friends, because people like to send via Viber and Messenger? Do you have a poster summarizing everything?
Yes po, good afternoon to everyone, and thank you for that question. Yes po, we have all the materials po, a poster, a press release. Actually, after this, we'll be releasing a press release and a poster summarizing everything about the call for nomination, the start of nomination, the end of nomination, and other information. We'll be releasing our press release as well after this press conference po, and we'll be releasing it via different social media platforms and to our media friends. In terms of social media platforms, please visit the FB page po of the Association for Philippine-China Understanding, or APPCU, and we're also live streaming everything right now. So please visit all those, and we're also live in Chinatown TV, in Global Talk News Radio. So all this information will be flashed and will be shared through these platforms, and to our media friends through email as well. So I'll be emailing. Please email me or text me your email address for recording of this video press conference, and all the relevant information via my text is my number is 0919-074-1132. Again, 0919-074-1132. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Somebody texted again, like the background of APPCU. For those who are latecomers, Association for the Promotion of Philippines-China Understanding, APPCU, was started 1974. Among the pioneers behind it were the great writer and Foreign Affairs Secretary before, and UP President Dr. Salvador Lopez, also Adrian Cristobal, the renowned writer, and the late national artist and UP College of Arts Dean Jose Hoya, and of course also now the Chairman Emeritus, also one of the pioneer members, former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. These stalwarts and intellectuals were brave in pioneering better Philippine-China relations, even during the Cold War era of many misunderstandings and many political disagreements in the past. So APPCU is a leading NGO doing this and now pioneering the awards. APPCU, the second year, no? And with your cooperation, sabi ni Mr. Peter Labinia, this will become the Olympics of Friendship Awards in the country. So, any more last message from Mr. Labinia and Ms. Ana Malindog-Uy before we end the press conference? Any reminders to everyone?
Opo, just one note po before we go to the closing remarks or your closing, no, an announcement.
Yes.
When it comes po to those who can be nominated po, except for the APPCU board or the Association for Philippine-China Understanding board members, anyone, as long as he or she is a Filipino and you think done something for the promotion of Philippine-China Understanding, could be nominated. And nomination can come from Filipinos and even foreigners, no, who knows more. But the only thing here is the nominated person should be a Filipino citizen. Yan po.
And should not be a board member of your association, and not
be
a government official in charge of bilateral relations now.
Oh,
Sabi ni Mr.
because,
Peter
of course,
Labinia,
yes.
because that is their work.
Yeah, that is their work. Probably after, or maybe after, maybe next year or something.
Yes. There's a question here. I don't know if it's not directly related. A journalist asking Ms. Dr. Banlawi to analyze what is the prospect of Philippine-China relations in the future, in the new year. Would Dr. Banlawi want to comment, or Dr. Aportadera or Mr. Laurel? Can the awardees or Mr. Ado, could you comment on somebody asking prospects for better Philippine-China relations this new year? Dr. Romel Banlawi or anyone among the awardees would like to comment?
While we're waiting for the others, like
Yes,
Dr.
a
Banlawi,
short comment on the future.
Yeah, I think it's just not just China, Philippines, but China and the world. I think
Yes,
this again is a turnaround year where I think the leadership of China for the building of a community of shared future for mankind has been accentuated and accelerated by the consistent failure of the self-proclaimed rival or competitor of China to be still at the head of the table. And two major projects of the U.S. administration today highlight this. For example, the Summit for Democracy, which was a total failure, and the boycott of the Beijing Olympics, where not a single Muslim nation, because the issue of the U.S. against China in this Olympics is the Xinjiang human rights issue. I think that has been belied, masked, and bared naked by the success of the global participation, including from those countries that joined Biden or the US in the so-called diplomatic protest, all of them sending their athletes, including the United States of America. So that has put the United States in a very hilarious situation. I think the prestige of the United States has completely collapsed in this world. But this is not to the victory, as our article in Global Times is entitled. This is a victory of mankind. I think that is the message too of China to all of us, and I think I will quote. I will quote our writer Mauro Samonte, who writes in the Times. He wrote as far back as 2 years ago, "You cannot be pro-Filipino if you are not pro-China. You cannot be pro-Filipino if you're pro-American. Pro-Americanism that has destroyed so many countries and stunted the growth of this country. That is our mission." And I think with the great projects of China to show this to our Filipino people, we have succeeded already. There is already a turnaround in the attitude of Filipinos to China, except those in some parts of the body politic that is committed because of their special relations with the Americans, and of course in media, where we know that 90% of mainstream media has tremendous influence from the financial class of the West. So that's my point to make. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Herman Laurel. Maybe one or two last comments from one of the two awardees on the prospects for bilateral relations this year, New Year. If anyone wants to comment economically or in terms of after Dr. Banlawi, what are
Okay, thank you very much.
yes, Dr. Banlawi, what are
Yes,
prospects for bilateral ties this year after the COVID? It seems the COVID crisis would be ending worldwide. What are your hopes for bilateral ties between the Philippines and China?
So right now, things are in fact on hold because of the May 2022 elections. There will be continuing security challenges in Philippines-China relations, but these continuing challenges can be addressed pragmatically. It can be addressed. So whoever will sit as president in May 2022 will affect how these challenges can be addressed. We have to recognize that there are persistent differences in Philippines-China relations, particularly in areas of great controversies like the South China Sea disputes, Taiwan conflicts, and other issues. But I always emphasize, Wilson, that these differences are not irreconcilable differences. they can be negotiated, they can be resolved through constant conversation and discussions between the two parties. And that is why we need not only understanding between the two countries, we need not only mutual understanding. What we need between the two countries is to exert greater effort to promote mutual respect despite these differences. Because if we have mutual respect on each other's positions on many controversial issues, we can cooperate and we can avoid conflict. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Romel Banlawi, for that. We'd like to invite next Dr. and Attorney Leomil Aportadera for your outlook on the future this new year for Philippine-China relations. How do you foresee it?
When we talk of the prospects of Philippine-China bilateral relationships going into this year, we have to consider the election results in May. Whoever will be elected will be guided by only 2 points. First, the constitutional provision of an independent foreign policy. Simply said, we will be a friend to all and an enemy to no one. The second is whoever will get elected in May should be guided by reality. First, China is our largest export market. Number 2, geographically, we are just across the South China Sea to China. So with this guidance, whoever will be holding our leadership will be guided that whatever they decide so as to bring in the results affecting Philippine-China bilateral relationship, they should be guided by the prospect of getting the best for the Filipino people. On our part, being on the ground, we will just continue to promote better understanding to people and to people-to-people contacts to people and people contacts. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Attorney and Dr. Leomil Aportadera, for your good reminders. So we have to wrap up today's session. Thank you to everyone for joining this press conference. Is Mr. Ado still speaking, just in case, for prospects for the future? I forgot pala one of the awardees. If Mr. Ado Pagdinawan wants to talk about the bilateral ties. So thank you to everyone. Very good for the reminders of our speakers. Sabi ni Mr. Herman Laurel, we are doing a lot of good progress in explaining and strengthening understanding between Philippines and China. And Dr. Romel Banlawi reminded all of us we have to help constant conversation, constant dialogue based on mutual respect and better understanding to strengthen friendship between our two countries. And last but not the least, Dr. Leomil and Attorney Portadera reminded us of two things. We should all abide by the Constitution about our independent foreign policy. The Philippines should be friend of everyone and not quarreling or enemy with any country. And number 2, about the realities of geopolitics and geography. Tama si Attorney Portadera, there's an ancient saying, it's better to be friends and very good relationship with your neighbor than to have a far away relative. Your neighbor is most important when there's a fire, when there's an emergency, when you're hungry. You knock on the door of your neighbor, not to your far relative. So once again, thank you to everyone. Thank you to yes, Anna.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you, but
yes,
before you end the whole press conference, may I thank all I just want to give thanks to our media friends, especially those
Yes.
media friends that we have here right now who actually sponsored the live streaming of our press conference
Thank you.
via
Yes.
the social media network. No, it's Chinatown TV. Thank you very much. Global Talk News Radio for streaming our press conference in their YouTube channel and on Facebook. At the same time, Chinatown TV did also the same thing. Q Radio, Pandesal Forum, actually it's your forum, the Manila
Yes.
Times. But we would like also to thank all our media friends who attended. We have here GMA7, ABS-CBN, GMA, SMNI, Manila Times, Manila Standard, PVN Point View Publishing, Q Radio, Chinatown TV, and others. I was not able to chat down,
Yes.
but I'm
Many
also
other media.
many other media who attended. Thank you so much for all the support, and we will please text us for your name and address, because we will be giving you a media token from our
Yes.
Kamuning Bakery, which has a lot of goodies and very nice goodies. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We forgot to acknowledge the president of APPCU, Mr. Jeffrey Nang.
Yes.
We
He's
cited
here.
him earlier, the Chairman Emeritus, Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo, and the President of APPCU, Mr. Jeffrey Nang, for guiding this association towards this award last year and this year. Thank you to all the media. Thank you very much. Let us nominate more people and help. Sabi nga ni Mr. Peter Labinya, this will be the Olympics of Friendship Awards. APPCU. Thank you very much to everyone. Good afternoon.
Yes po, thank you so much to everyone. Thank you, Mr. Wilson Lee Flores.
Thank you, including the bloggers who attended. Thank you very
the
much.
bloggers, I've seen your names.
We have some bloggers.
Yes. I had a capture of everyone who attended. We will send you some goodies as well, and we'll contact you as well. Please contact me is 0919-074-1132 for all the media friends who attended. We will send you our media tokens. Please do so, please.
They're asking also for a poster of your rules of domination,
Yes,
which they could share via Viber and Instagram and social media now.
Thank you so much to our APPCU officials, to the Chinese Embassy officials, and even to our APPCU 2021 awardees for gracing the occasion. Thank you, Mr. Wilson Lee, for your grace.
Thank you, Anna, and to everyone and all the officers.
Yes, thank you so much to all people who supported this press conference and who attended. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon. Be healthy and stay safe po, kay may Omicron pa rin.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good
Bye.
afternoon.
Take
And congratulations.
Benedicto and all other APPCU members who also attended. Thank you so
Also,
much.
Councilor
Xie.
Xie Yonghui, Ms. Liu Yi-chun, Raymond Roquero, General Fernando Pase,
Yes.
Dr. Gabriel Lopez, Jose Arce Jr., Raven Jobel Florante, the members of the APPCU committee. Of course, the Chairman Sixto Benedicto, Vice Chairman Ana Malindog-Uy, and the spokesperson, Mr. Labinya.
Yes, thank you so much, Sir
Congratulations
Peter.
to all.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
We
sir.
add Tom Wu.
Thank you.
Yes,
Chinese
Mr.
Embassy.
Tom Wu of the Embassy
The
of
media
China,
director.
Mr. Wu. Thank you
Ah.
very much for joining.
Yeah, he's the
And
media
all the
director
others.
of the Chinese Embassy po.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Tom Wu and all the others. Yes.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Good afternoon to everyone.
This APPCU can be seen and can be downloaded from the website.
Yes po. Yes.
Yes, various Facebook websites, Facebook pages. Congratulations in advance to APPCU and to your outstanding committee.
Thank you. Thank
You
you so
will,
much. Thank you, Wilson.
Thank you, thank you.
Am I
Thank you to
allowed to
everyone.
make announcement?
Thank you.
Before we
Yes.
Yes.
Dr.
Yes.
Romel Banlawi.
Okay, yeah, I'm very pleased to inform everybody that the Philippine Association for Chinese Studies will celebrate our 35th anniversary this year. And in
Wow.
March 2022, we will hold a series of events divided into 4 weeks of celebration with 4 panels of discussion. The first panel, we will showcase new researchers on Chinese studies in the Philippines, showcasing young scholars who devoted their time doing Chinese studies in the Philippines, with 8 papers to be presented by scholars coming from different universities in the Philippines, from University of the Philippines, Ateneo de Manila Universities, and others. Second, we will hold a panel on Philippines-China relations in times of crisis, on how the two countries are helping each other in times of crisis. Like, we will talk about disaster diplomacy and cooperation during the time of the pandemic. And third, we will talk about Philippine elections and the directions of post-Duterte Philippines-China relations. We'll have very good speakers who already confirmed, like Dr. Carita Carlos, Herman Kraft, and Eric Bacolinaw. So they will talk about that issue. And finally, we will have a discussion on the reflections of founding members of PACS on our achievements in promoting Chinese studies in the Philippines for 35 years. So we will hear the words of Dr. Bernadita Churchill, of course, our awardee, Teresita Angsi, and Dr. Teresa Carino, who is the founding president of PACS, and also Dr. Ellen Palanca, now the director of Confucius Institute in Ateneo. So we look forward to see you participate in that, because part of promoting Philippines-China understanding is also the promotion of Chinese studies in the Philippines. Thank you very much.
You're the president also, di ba, Dr.
This is my last term. I am ending my term in May 2022. This is my second term. I'm not seeking another term because of new priorities for 2022.
Congratulations, President Romel Banlawi of the association. Thank you for your success.
Okay,
thank you very much, Dr. Romel Banlawi.
Yes. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you to everyone. Good afternoon to everyone.
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you.
Pahingi daw ng poster, ha? Yung poster daw, summarizing everything in one nice poster. Thank you. Congratulations.
Those media people, media friends who actually texted me, I will send you all the materials needed. Please also via email, based on the email you sent to me. After the press conference, right after, I will work on it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.